In the very beginning of human history, the Bible tells us the story of two brothers. Their names were Cain and Abel. They were the sons of Adam and Eve, the first man and woman created by God. This story is found in the book of Genesis, and it teaches us powerful lessons about the human heart, about jealousy, about choices, and about the consequences of our actions. Cain was the firstborn son. He became a farmer, working the soil and growing crops from the ground. Abel, his younger brother, became a shepherd. He cared for sheep and animals in the fields. Both brothers worked hard in their own ways. But one day, something important happened. The Bible tells us that both Cain and Abel decided to bring an offering to God. An offering was a way to honor God and show gratitude. Cain brought some of the fruits of the ground that he had grown. Abel brought the firstborn of his flock, the best of his sheep. At first glance, both offerings seemed good. Both brothers were giving something from their work. But the Bible says something surprising. God looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but he did not look with favor on Cain and his offering. Why? Many people have asked this question. The Bible suggests that Abel gave his best with a sincere heart, while Cain's offering may not have come from the same spirit of devotion. God was not only looking at the gift, he was looking at the heart behind the gift. When Cain saw that Abel's offering was accepted and his was not, something began to grow inside him. Not humility, not reflection, but anger and jealousy. The Bible says Cain became very angry and his face fell. God then spoke to Cain and gave him a warning. God said, "Why are you angry? Why has your face fallen? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." This was a powerful moment. God was telling Cain that he still had a choice. Jealousy had entered his heart, but he could still choose the right path. Unfortunately, Cain did not listen. One day, Cain invited his brother Abel to go out into the field, and there, in that quiet place, something tragic happened. Cain attacked his brother, and he killed Abel. It was the first murder in human history, a terrible moment that showed how dangerous jealousy and anger can become when they are not controlled. Afterward, God spoke to Cain again. "Where is your brother Abel?" God asked. Cain answered with words that have become famous in history. "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" But God already knew what had happened. God said, "What have you done? Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." Because of what Cain had done, there were consequences. God told Cain that the ground would no longer produce crops for him as it once did. Cain would become a wanderer on the earth, a man without peace. Cain was afraid. He feared that others might harm him. But even in judgment, God showed mercy. The Bible says God placed a mark on Cain to protect him so that no one would kill him. This story is not only about two brothers long ago. It is about every human heart. It teaches us that jealousy, anger, and pride can grow quietly inside us. If we do not control them, they can destroy relationships, families, and lives. But the story also reminds us of something important. God warned Cain before the tragedy happened. God gave him a chance to change his heart. In our own lives, we also face moments when we must choose between anger and love, between envy and gratitude, between darkness and light. The story of Cain and Abel asks us a question that still matters today. How do we treat our brothers and sisters? Are we truly responsible for one another? The answer is yes. We are called to care for one another, to support one another, and to guard our hearts against jealousy and hatred. Because when we choose love instead of envy, when we choose humility instead of pride, we create a different future, a future where peace grows instead of violence. The story of Abel and Cain reminds us that our choices matter. Every thought we nurture, every emotion we allow to grow, every action we take shapes the world around us. So today, choose wisely. Guard your heart. Celebrate the success of others. And remember that a life guided by love will always lead to a better path. Because in the end, the greatest offering we can give to God is not something from our hands. It is a pure heart,